I'm going live. Hey guys. Um Welcome to Approach the Nerd. I'm your friend Maria Park and we're here to talk about Charmed. And what the heck just happened in this episode? I'm trying to figure out how to review this without sounding negative because I have a lot of negatives in this episode. And every time I do a negative review, I know people get in their feelings and get really upset. But I got to be real with you guys. This was a mess. This was literally a train wreck, a cluster F. There was so much going on. And I'm just like, what? Okay. So basically, we know that there's going to be an apocalypse or some kind of apocalyptic event in the future. Future Mel came back and told previous Mel that, please carry my child because it's dangerous. So there are three things going on simultaneously in this episode. We have Celeste and Harry, with Harry regressing because the soul he got from Georgie hasn't caught up to his body yet in age, so it's not mature. So he's acting like a whole freaking 7-year-old, and it's, yeah. The second thing is we have Ruby and Mel. Mel's making a potion because Maggie and Macy decide to go to the future to investigate what's happening. And they start questioning. Well, basically Ruby's questioning things that actually never get answered because this is their communication and they're written this way. It's not the actress's fault. It's not the character's fault. They are written basically where Ruby just accepts everything that's going on in Mel's life, like very quickly, gets over all of these issues she's had with magic and not being a part of anything. And it was like, okay, we went from that stage and Ruby saying, who's the baby's daddy or mommy or what's happening here, to I'll be here for you. And I'm like, what did we actually resolve in this? I mean, this is the problem that I have with their entire effing relationship. It's like it goes from point A to Z, but we never see from B all the way to Y. So I'm like, And then we have the future trip. The future trip, to me, with Maggie and Macy in the future, I swear was written by a completely different writer. They pulled in, actually throughout this, they pulled in some Arrowverse writers for this. And if you don't believe me, run, Harry, run. As soon as I heard that in this episode, I was like, I'm waiting for Barry Allen to show up. Because that's literally the catchphrase of that entire series. So, yeah, I know I sound negative. It's just this whole episode. I'm like, what was the point? So, Maggie, she literally forces herself to have a premonition based on their picture. And they go to the future using Celeste, her time watch, her stopwatch that allows her to be immortal, that has her immortality in it. And I keep thinking, why does Celeste keep doing this? She's already aged like 20 years. Why does she just allow herself to give the Charmed Ones this opportunity to kill her? Because that's basically, and then I figured it out because Harry said it before, even in the last episode, it's because she feels so guilty about what she did to Harry and also about creating the Dark Lighter. So she pretty much is like, hey, go ahead, take my watch. I mean, I could die. It's fine. It's all good. That's literally how Celeste is in this. And it's so effing sad. And I love Celeste's character, but it's just so sad to me that it's almost like in this series, everybody has to sacrifice things for the Charmed Ones. And it's not really, the Charmed Ones don't really sacrifice things a lot. I mean, yeah, they lose things, but they don't sacrifice things a lot. People make the choice to sacrifice, and this is even back in season 1 with Galvin and everything. Like it's just crazy. So basically, they go to the future. They end up in safe space. The first person that they encounter is Abby. Abby was probably in this whole episode for about 3.5 minutes. So they literally had her in the trailer. And I told you this last week, they're going to make it. We're going to see the episode. It's going to be nothing like what we thought was going to happen. But she was in it for literally 3 minutes. And she was only there to talk about the fact that she was part of Mel's resistance. there's a entity or something called the Whispering Evil that future Mel was trying to figure out how to stop or find a cure for. And then she's dead. Like literally she was killed. And the first problem I have with this is, and maybe I missed this, guys, again, if I missed it, let me know in the comments. I'm not looking at the chat right now, but let me look in the comments and read it. If I missed this, please educate me. Did Abby not have her powers? Because if Abby had her powers, how in the heck was she killed that easily? Why would she throw her crossbow gun down and say, no, please stop, don't do this? So yeah, Abby's dead. And then the girls, when they trigger the alarm where Abby first shows up and she says that she's the one that killed Maggie because Maggie turned into whatever the Whispering Evil does into your brain that makes you, I'm assuming it's like literally a magical zombie. I don't know, this really weird creature that sounds like it should be a cross between Alien and Predator. The sound effect anyway. So they end up, running back to the house, but the watch got damaged because when they tripped the alarm and Abby showed up, their watch got hit a certain way, so it wasn't working anymore. Now they all have earbuds in their ears. Now this is my first nitpick. I just have to say it, guys. There were 3 earbuds in the command center. Macy put one in her ear. Celeste put one in her ear. And they left the third one there, but they had to leave the third one there for Harry to play with. Even though it would have made a heck of a lot more sense to put the other earbud in Maggie's ear. So if something happens to Macy's, they got a backup. But you know what? We already know what's happening. It's the writers. So because that didn't happen, Macy's earbud also started going on the fritz. So they get to the attic and, neither things are working. And they have to figure out how to fix the watch. They don't know how to do it. They need to talk to Celeste. So Macy's like, ha! She said, well, I can't fix the watch because genetics and, basically fixing watches are not, they don't go hand in hand. But yet making magical steampunk looking devices that look like bugs obviously go with genetics. But I left that alone too. I keep suspending my disbelief, guys. I keep doing it. I'm doing it for you guys. So Macy finds more parts to make more of the bugs. That's fine. We'll do that. They fix it. They're able to call Celeste. And Celeste is like, well, I can't help you fix the watch, but I got a backup. This is the first time we're hearing about this backup watch, by the way. She's got a backup, right? So she's like, well, I got an idea. I will hide it in the command center where I am, and then it'll be there where you are because you're 5 years in the future because the Charmed Apocalypse happens in 2026. And they're like, well, we can't go back there because the Whispering Evil is there. And she's like, well, you guys have to do something. And I'm like, why don't you just take the freaking thing to literally the mansion, walk up the stairs, and put it in the freaking attic where they are? Like, why? Especially since later on in the episode, that is exactly what effing happens. They literally take the freaking watch to the mall where the girls are running. They take it into this like tailor shop, and Harry hides it behind a brick that he marks. And I'm going to tell you this. I've lived in a lot of properties. I'm a military brat. I've lived in houses, military houses, apartments, whatever. They have to have the shoddiest freaking buildings on the planet for Maggie to be able to take a pair of scissors off a desk and literally scratch out a brick in 30 seconds to pull out a watch. I've been suspending my disbelief in this episode, guys. You have no idea. Especially since all Celeste had to do was say, you know what? I'm in the command center. I will use a marble and I will teleport myself to your house. And I will walk up the heck, I won't even walk up the stairs. I will be in the attic in 30 seconds. Bam. Here's a new watch. Bam. Get the heck out of Dodge. Bam. End episode. I do not understand why everything is made to be so complicated in this show. I do not understand why we are literally made to be idiots when reviewing this show. Because if you have a lick of common sense, you already knew when Celeste said, well, what are you going to do? I'm like, really? This brilliant woman who figured out how to separate somebody between a white and a dark lighter couldn't tell in her brain using critical thinking skills that maybe I could just go to your house and put it in the attic because, you're like already there and, you already got all the information you need and, you don't have to run around town and do all of this crap. I can just be there and then you can be home and then we can spend the rest of the episode trying to figure out why the whispering evil is there and why Macy was the one taking everybody out in the future. I'm like, yes, because Macy killed Abby and Macy more than likely killed Mel and Macy was killing everybody. So, but her hair was on point. I did like the braids. Those braids were on point. Guys, I'm in my feelings. I'm like, can you tell? I feel like this is going to be me every week now, every charm week. I was watching Rurouni Kenshin and I was late watching it because I had a lot of doctor appointments. And like, I looked at the time, I was like, crap, charm starting. And I started watching, I'm like, can I watch Rurouni Kenshin again? I still have 32 minutes left. I'm going to go back and watch this. But I was like, nope, I'm going to do my live stream. I'm going to try and be objective. Oh, it's so hard to be objective in this episode, guys. It's so hard to be. So back to Ruby and back to Mel. I'm sorry, guys. Again, if you are a Ruby and Mel lover, this is not me attacking you. When I say things about this show, I am not attacking you. I am telling you, for me, watching Ruby and Mel painfully navigate a relationship that was never established because they got together like they were U-hauling, like a lot of us queer women, do in the relationships. We get together and we're like, hey, we're moving in tomorrow. Hey, let's get married next week. Bam. That is literally, they are living up to the stereotype of U-haul lesbian relationship because they haven't dealt with a freaking thing in their relationships. When they bring something up, they talk about it for 30 seconds and then bam, it's completely resolved with a I love you and I will be there for you. That's it. Don't believe me? Go watch all of the interactions in season 2 and tell me I'm wrong. And it's usually Ruby saying I love you first. So I do not understand their relationship. I mean, again, Ruby, beautiful actress. The character itself could be very cool. We got to see that she's still very much into soccer. So that is still canon from season 2. She still likes to watch soccer matches with her roommate. They actually brought up the roommate asking if she wants to watch soccer. I'm like, that is so great. She still has a life outside of her telling Mel I love you every 5 minutes and just being there randomly when she hates magic. They even brought up the fact that she dislikes magic. But now all of a sudden, because of Mel, she has learned to see magic through a whole new, scope, a new vision, a new way of seeing magic as positive. Now, my problem with this, when did she see it being positive? Because everything that's been happening in season 2 has been effed up. The magical allergy, the perfecti trying to kill everybody. Every time there's an issue, Ruby's left behind because there's always something negative going on with quote unquote magic. But all of a sudden, in this episode, I see magic in a new light. I just don't think anyone's writing the show. I really think they just pull stuff from fanfics. They like fanfics and they're like, I'm gonna take that paragraph and that one, put them together, and that's the episode. That is literally how I feel about this. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot. You're probably gonna have other reviewers that are like, this is the best thing since toast. I'm so excited. I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not. I am not. This is a train effing wreck. And then the baby, which I know they wrote into the show because Mel is pregnant. Completely down with that. But apparently the baby made it so Ruby and Mel can touch each other because the baby is Benadryl for the allergy. So they, as my spouse likes to say, I guess we could name the baby Benny, short for Benadryl. Guys. I'm just other notable things. The Tomb of Chaos symbol is appearing on all of their necks, other people's necks that are being infected with the whispering evil. And so that put 2 and 2 together. And so now they've established that maybe the Perfecti weren't lying when they said in a previous episode, which was probably for them 3 days ago, that they're not the biggest threat. There's something worse out there. And if you put us away, you're all going to die. Hence 2026, the apocalypse. And everything apparently starts 3 weeks from their timeline. And we do see at the end of the episode, whatever it is already there. I don't know why, but I mean, again, this was like Arrowverse Central for me, Arrowverse 101 plotting. Even down to the fact that Maggie had a potion that literally made the board they want to take back into the past into like a miniature size. So we're talking like Legends of Tomorrow, the Atom technology. So we had the Atom technology, we had the Flash reference with the go, Harry, run, Harry, run, plus the potion that they needed to make to de-age Maggie and Macy when they came back from the future. They didn't have enough time to make a lot, so Ruby decides to help make a potion to speed her up, and then she essentially became Barry. She became Barry Allen. So we had 2 Flash references, and we had the Atom from Arrow / Legends of Tomorrow. So they are pulling things, and I'm like, you know what? I was trying to watch Charmed. I was not trying to watch another Arrowverse show. And that is literally what happened tonight. I literally just got thrown into an Arrowverse episode. And I am not happy about it because I turned off Rurouni Kenshin for this. I'm like, I turned it off for this. I'm about to look at your comments in a minute, guys. I just got to make sure I have everything out of my mind, because I'm telling you, the last straw for me was when he took that watch and he put it in this brick that in the tailor shop that was being, I guess, renovated, and he sealed it up and he made a little scratch on it in real time so they saw which brick it was. And then Maggie went to that desk and took those Dollar Tree freaking scissors and then literally scraped the caulking out of the wall and just pulled out this brick in like 30 seconds. And I'm like, if this is truly what the architectural structure of Seattle is in Charmed, I don't want to live in Seattle, because that place is dangerous, because obviously they are using bubble gum to hold their bricks and their buildings up. So hashtag not suspending disbelief at all in this episode. And remember, guys, I love Charmed. This is not somebody who hates. I'm not like one of those people that gets in the Batwoman phase and is like, Batwoman is trash, blah, blah, blah. I don't do that with Charmed. I love the characters. I do. I, for the most part, love the potential of this show. But it just seems like every week I am watching another Arrowverse show. And I'm not okay with that. At least I did see Jordan in the next episode. So, I mean, I guess he's back in the next episode where people are starting to be affected by the Whispering Evil. I don't know why it's called the Whispering Evil. I also don't know why. I know you're from the future and timelines can change, but if you want to save the future and you want to rewrite the timeline, then why in the heck didn't Future Mel just say, so this is what's happening in the future. This is what I think's going on. Try to fix it and keep our baby, who is, again, the Benadryl for your allergy, safe. And peace out. But that's not what happens. They have to make everything extra complicated. That is the problem with Charmed. It's not that Charm's they're not powerful. It's not that they can't be intelligent. The writing is just stupid. So it's just like, okay, I can't suspend this anymore. Now I look for it. I'm like, there's a demon attacking downstairs. Do we A, go down the stairs? Do we B, go all the way up to the attic, climb out the window, and go down a ladder, then come around the house and go back in the door? We B, because that is how the writing is on the show. So, yeah. But we got to see Celeste again. So let's look at some comments. I know you guys are probably going to hate me for this, but I can't. I don't BS. I can't sit here and say I like something. I thought this episode was absolute trash, and I can't help it. Let's see here. This episode was all over the place. I can't 100% agree. Thank you for the Krakoa community posts anytime. I'm not sure why, but this didn't show up in my subscription feed. Sometimes if you don't have all, when you click the bell and you don't have all notifications selected, it won't. And then sometimes me and Eloy discovered you have to unclick the notification bell and then redo it whenever YouTube does an update. It's crazy. It is definitely a Google thing. Hello, Alpha. Hello. Is it Enya? That's a pretty name. Enya. Make sure I said that right. This ep is wild. Wild is a good was a good way of saying it, I guess. This was a whole mess, 1,000,000,000%. This episode was saying it's a dumpster fire is an understatement. Let's just say that. Hello, Sunrise. How are you? I will say, though, good opening pregnant male meditate. I did like the meditation, and I love that she was eating Smart Pop. And I love that, when, Macy offered a chocolate eclair, or I think it was a chocolate croissant, that she was like, no, just healthy snacks. It's like kind of shaming her, like, no, you're eating trash, But so Mel's already getting into mama mode. But again, since she's really pregnant in real life, I also think she doesn't want to eat it because it does have a lot of sugar in it. And she doesn't want to give that to her baby. It was a good way of putting that in, that she's a healthy mama. When we think CW plots could not get any more frustrating. Harry was so cute. Harry was cute at times, but after a while, he became a little bit annoying. And I got to the point where I was like, all of this was unnecessary. I know they were trying to they were basically causing, a kind of way for Celeste and Harry to deal with the fact that she still feels guilty about making a dark lighter, a white lighter, split from him, and just all the experiments she's probably done that they probably don't even know about. She's just got a lot of guilt. I know this is a way of her overcompensating by helping him, and him getting, being in his feelings about it and saying, look, leave me alone. I want to be free. We. That was a good way. It was almost like a mother and son, but it was also an elder and a white lighter bearing their issues. That's basically what that was, even though I thought they did that way back in season 2, but I digress. Whatever. Not Celeste being a total mom to Harry this episode. I mean, she was being mom to him. I guess that's why Harry and Barry run, Harry, run. I was like, I can't. I literally was like, because I already was thinking it was like the Arrowverse, and when I heard that line, I was like, why are you doing this to me? I mean, why? It's not even an Arrowverse, stream. Why? Oh, I might have to cut Barry some slack after this. That's sad. I swear, can we just get a consistent pace for the whole season instead of dropping a bunch of plot bombs? Nothing got resolved or discussed after we saw it play out. Never does. And yeah, I was like, Macy evil? No, you still my girl. I will say though, I actually like when Macy is evil. She's got a really cool, like she is a really good actress. So seeing Macy, even though she can be kind of bitchy, seeing Macy is kind of more straight-laced, logical, kind of analytical, and then seeing one that just doesn't give a damn and just goes around trying to kill people. And she had those braids, and I was there for it. I will say though, Macy always has on-point hair more when she's evil. Not saying I don't love her curls. I'm a natural curly hero, so I'm never gonna put curls down. But I mean, the girl styles are always on point when she's evil. Like, go back and look at season 1 when she was the source. Go back and look when she was pretending to be a demon and going into the nightclub with the other demons. And she had the little wrap thing. Her hair is always on point when she's evil. I mean, when do you have time to give a crap about your hair when you're evil, when you're trying to kill people? But Macy had had the boots rocking, had her hair looking good. She was fire. So I don't know what that should tell Macy about herself, but just saying. Ruby doesn't spark love interest vibes, more like a close ally for the charm ones. Yeah, she's almost like Dan from OG. Whenever he would pop up and say, hey guys, what's going on? I just came to drop my niece off and see if Piper will babysit. I think it was a firefighter. I think it was a contract. I can't remember what Dan's job was, but I remember Dan and Piper were trying the thing before Leo came back, messed it all up. But that's who Ruby really reminds me of. She reminds me of Dan. Okay, but it is Ruby, the new Barry Allen. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to Ruby being the new Barry Allen. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't. Hi, Ray. How are you? Ruby just needs a last name. That's all I want. As long as it's not Rose, I think we're good. Ruby Rose. Notice how Mel avoided the words "I love you" for this entire damn episode. I wonder why. She was avoiding a lot of stuff. She was like, "So, are we together in the future?" Like, they never came back to this, though. They never came back to this whole, what else did future Mel tell you? Where did the baby come from? Who did this to you? Like, well, I mean, guys, I can't. I can't. The point of this episode was to make Maria rethink her life choices of watching this show. Yeah, that's been happening a lot, actually, since season 2. I'll be real with you. Hi, Kevin. So now they finally give me the reason as to why with Ruby. So now I am even more mad because they should have been done in the beginning. They haven't resolved anything with Ruby. She just decided somehow on her own without any like real, motivation that she's magically saying she has, that she now accepts magic and everything because of Mel. But Mel is hardly with her. I'm like, they can't touch each other. Everything that has happened from season 2 when she met Ruby on to now has been bad. So what did you get out of this? Normally when you watch a show and you see all the bad stuff, you got to talk a character down saying, baby, this is not all that there is to me. I also have, warmth and ideas, and I want a future, and this is my dream. But no, Mel's not saying any of that stuff. Ruby's like, yeah, that sucks. But you know what? Having seen how dysfunctional your life is, it has really given me a good glimpse into what magic really is about. And I accept it. And I love you. That is what Ruby does. And I'm just like, U-Haul. Like, it's a U-Haul. They're U-Hauling. Ruby and Mel be looking like two sisters trying to kiss. But every time Ruby tries to kiss Mel, something normally happens. Like they finally get to touch each other, and then she's about to kiss Mel, and the baby kicks. And I'm like, this is a mess. And in the future, where is Ruby? I mean, we already know that Abigail was with Mel and was part of her resistance, but where is Ruby? Where is everyone else? I mean, where's Jordan? Nobody even asked where Jordan was. And to be clear, I knew that the person that killed Abby was Macy based on the fact that Abby said, Maggie, I killed you. Once you turned, I had no choice. Nobody ever said, well, whatever happened to Macy in this world? No one asked this question. It wasn't until they saw that it was Macy, and Macy was like, oh, I became a monster. I'm like, were you not curious? I mean, as a person, as a human being with curiosity, that would have been the first thing I would have thought about. So we have a future Mel and future Maggie is dead. Where am I? That literally would have been the first thing I asked. Nope, not at all. Yes, the series has a bad habit of sacrificing for the charm ones. Amen. I'm so mad that Abby only got 2 minutes of screen time. We basically saw her entire contribution to this episode in 3:15 promo. She had like maybe 4 lines extra, but yeah, I still don't believe she went down that fast. I mean, unless she was completely powerless in this episode, which I don't think she was, then I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, she can't sift or teleport out or something. I don't get it. The Abby as a foal should have a slow burn. I think her as a foal should be a slow burn too, but I think this entire plot is a slow burn. Also, more indication Macy has her demon power, so maybe that's progress. Abby had to sacrifice her powers to give Macy back her magic. True. I think that is what happens because technically Macy was throwing fire again. So there is that. She was throwing fire at people. So to me, maybe she's embracing her demon side, and she does get all of her demon side back. It's a thing. Again, logic fail. Absolutely. Macy probably got her powers back due to the future Macy tried to kill them. So Abby is probably not as powerful of a pyrokinetic as Macy was, even though Abby is a daughter of Alistair. But she still had powers before that were she was pretty good witch, and she did have powers that were demonic. So I still don't get why she couldn't have put up a little bit of a fight. I don't know why they dumbed her down like that. That is really weird to me. What happened to Ruby's extreme dislike of magic? Did we skip over this plot yet again? She was literally so against it, and you're telling me that one fluke in Mel's magical life brought it out of her? I mean, maybe she was like, hey, Mel, it's so hot that you're both the Human Torch and Elsa, and I just really like Frozen too, so we can just be a thing. I don't know. Nothing I just said actually could not play out in this show, and that is scary. Poor Abby, it was a waste of acting and money. Why have her in the episode when you can just have a picture explain to that? I mean, that's probably why, if she is leaving, why she's leaving. Maria Macy had a point. She is a geneticist, an exceptionally powerful witch, not a Swiss Army knife. And she should not be messing with steampunk stuff either then. I mean, you literally made the earbuds. You made them. They are the earbuds. It's not a potion. It's not something you can pour in your ear. She made a mechanical bug with parts. She literally said, I cannot fix the watch with the components, blah, 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 but I can actually take these bugs that I invented with spare parts and fix them. I don't understand that. This is not me hating on Macy. I'm talking about the writing doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. It will never make sense to me. It's just what it is. Well, how convenient they have a backup. Yeah, why did we never know about this backup watch when they were trying to get all the pieces for the source? Like, Celeste never said anything about this. Like, she literally was like, if you take this, I'm going to start to age and there's nothing I can do. And the longer they're basically, the more dangerous it is for me. And I'm basically making this huge sacrifice. But by the way, I also have this watch in the compartment. I don't understand. Attic does sound reasonably. I mean, why wouldn't it? They literally called her from the attic. Why didn't Celeste say, oh, let me take a marble, turn the dial on the machine I created, teleport through your house to the attic, put the backup watch on the table. Bam. You already got it. But no, I think you guys need more cardio in your lives. So I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to sit here and have my asthma issues because I'm aging, because you guys are taking too long. And I'm going to send Harry, who has a little bit of his faculties back. He's not acting like a 5-year-old, to run to the mall. And you guys are at the mall and find some place to put it that is completely stupid and it makes all of us fans really question how well we know about home structure and all the HGTV shows we've ever watched on how you can take Dollar Tree scissors and pull out a brick. I want to know. I have brick in my house. I want to go with some scissors from the Dollar Tree and just jab it. I want to see if it pops out. And if it does, I'm moving out. No, she's been caving all season to Mel. You can't be a retired witch and date a charm one and not give a little each day and to be a decent girlfriend. I need to see her and Mel be girlfriends. I'm so tired of couples being thrown together that have no airtime, especially when they're queer, because it just shows that literally you're playing to the entire trope of the U-Haul phenomenon. It is something that is in the LGBT community. It happens all the effing time. I understand love at first sight, but it's like literally I accept everything, even though I'm against it all, because I just want to be with you. And I love you. And even though no one else can see how we got to this point of being in love, I know I'm in love with you because I'm U-Hauling. So that's how I feel about that. Again, the writing is trash. Yep. Harry having run to the mall for nothing, I would have been... I'm so glad they let him get on that escalator because, sometimes people are mean. When he was like going up the escalator, he turned around and went down. They'd be like, no, son. You can wait till you get to the top and run back the other way. Just like, it's funny when he was running near the mall, and you know how big malls are? Nobody thought to tell them where they were. Like Macy didn't say, okay, we're on the second floor. We'll meet you on the first. No, they wait till he gets on the escalator and they're like, no, go down the other way. I'm like, I can't. Well, Macy is evil again. They seem to like doing it. I don't know. Macy looks good when she's bad. She looks really good when she's bad. I mean, I'm sorry. She does. The one thing I will say, at least they didn't further 180 Abby's character development by making her the villain. She killed Maggie because she was infected and not for vengeance. True. We only got the little plot development we got in terms of what's going on in the future. The only exposition is from what Abby told them, because if she had been allowed to talk more, they may have gotten a little bit more insight into what is actually happening. But for now, they just have these like obscure boards and pictures and the Tomb of Chaos symbol. And now we got to figure out what's happening. They know it's some kind of magical virus that's going to hit the entire magical and demon world. So I don't know. Harry was being the smart one, and he was acting like a shower for most of the episode. He was being a shower, but they write Harry that way. I don't know why. I have no idea why. Maybe because he's on a show with mostly women, and with Jordan away, it's literally all women for him. So he has to hold his own. Ruby is so about to come out of witch protection and get her witch powers back. Probably. I love teenage Harry. Teenage Harry was a lot better than 10-year-old Harry. As a mother, I really wanted to smack Harry. I really did. To me, it seems like she has only been idly involved in magical affairs this season. We barely seen Ruby, to be honest. Their relationship for me is just non-existent. I mean, it never played out on screen. I think I had a more believable time with Jada and Mel in season 1 than I do with Ruby and Mel. At least with Jada, we saw the attraction. We saw, it's so if you really go back and watch season 2 with just them, just the scenes with Mel and Ruby, you'll see that Mel was kind of like one night stand, but I kind of like her type mood or whatever. And Ruby was kind of like nonchalant about it a lot. And then they really didn't hang out a lot. And then the next thing we know, she's in witch's protection. And then all of a sudden they're like really more attracted to each other. And she's all, well, yeah, but I don't want to have anything with witchcraft. That's why I'm in this. That's not my life. The whole conversation in the season finale of season 2 was them saying, Mel saying, this is my life. And Ruby saying, well, that's not going to be mine. And we went from that to them just being together. Like there was no transition. There was no drama. There was no conversation. There was no therapy. There was no couples discussions among friends. There was just them together. And I don't understand that at all. This relationship was retconned in one episode and it legit worked. If I just watched this episode, I never would connect the entire before in the relationship. I kind of feel like that. I mean, honestly, I think saying I love you is weird because I just don't know how they got to that point. It doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. This episode is crazy. I'm ready for the next episode. Me too. It was so annoying when Macy acted all surprised that she killed Abby, especially after she said she wanted to and tried in the dream where Celeste put the spell on them. She did. She's like, I killed Abby. And I'm like, and even when she saw Abby, she's like, Abby? It wasn't like, oh no, I got to see that face again. Like she wasn't the last episode. Tired of dealing with looking at this face. Oh, you're everywhere I go. Like, no, it was literally 180 because they keep effing doing this. If you want to hate Abby, please just hate her 24/7. Leave her alone. Just stay away from her. I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. Even for people who are not fans of Abby as a character in this series, then stop talking about her. Just look, if you don't like something and you don't talk about them, they eventually will leave your life. I mean, that's literally how it works. Don't obsess. So the fact that Macy is hot and then cold, like the Katy Perry song, I don't understand that either. I don't get Ruby and Mel shippers when they get married. They're gonna be like, Melanie Vera, do you take Ruby to be your wife? I pronounce you witching, yeah. Yeah, I don't get Ruby and Mel either. I love that a lot of the people that ship them, which from my perspective, a lot of people that have been getting really upset with my reviews about when I say that Ruby and Mel are boring together are not queer. They're not in the LGBT community. They are, and there's nothing wrong with that. It is not a requirement for you to be a card-carrying LGBTQ member. I just think it's funny that the more heat I get and the most heat I get is from people who are not even in the LGBT community. And like the ones that are in the LGBT community are like, I don't understand. Because we have normal relationships too. Our relationships are basically the same in terms of how we connect with each other as a heterosexual relationship. My marriage is the exact, we have to communicate, because if you don't know your spouse and what they like and what they don't like, or your partner and what they like and what they don't like, and it's something that you like and they don't like, you have to work through that. And if you can't work through it, then you can't be together. That's just what it is. There are some things in a relationship that are just deal breakers. And Mel is a whole freaking charm one. There is no turning magic off for her. It is predestined. When she stops being a witch and giving up magic, then her sisters are no longer the charm ones either. We've seen it in the OG charm. So there is no Mel can stop. So Ruby either had to accept that or say, hey, I don't want anything to do with it. That's why I'm in witness protection. So peace out. They never have the drama, the issues, the compromise. It's literally just Ruby saying, okay, cool. So see you next Saturday. That's literally what keeps happening. I'm like, I can't. I just can't. Pregnant Mel in the beginning of this episode was a new level of paranoia. She was awesome. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When I was pregnant, I was the same way. I'm like, if I eat this, will my daughter get diabetes? No. Like, it's a thing. Hell, if anything, Abby and Mel went through more in terms of relationship-wise than Mel and Ruby in general. Yep. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I don't understand. But again, people like characters in certain shows and they dislike other characters in certain shows. Whenever I hear them talk about Abby, I always think about Iris in The Flash. And whenever I think about, and I'm going to tell you this, next Tuesday will be my test. If something happens and I mention something negative about Scylla in Motherland Fort Salem, and on those of you who watch Motherland Fort Salem and know about Riel and know about Scylla and know that they are a cute lesbian couple, but know that Scylla was still in a terrorist group and still killed people. No matter how you look at it, she was the cause of over 1,501 people's deaths. But they accept her because she's cute in this relationship. If these are the same names I'm seeing coming at me about Abby, I'm going to say something because I don't hold my breath. So I'm like, okay, do I need to make a list, a video with credits where I thank the people that are hypocritical right now? Because I'll do it. But it's an imaginary show. They're all imaginary. So I try not to get in my feelings. I just think it's absolutely hysterical. I'm still waiting for Mel to get her time powers back, and that apparently Abby gave Macy their demon powers back in the future. See, I'm wondering at what point, if everything's going down in 3 weeks, does that mean Mel gets her time powers back in 3 weeks? Does Mel get her time powers back because she's pregnant? Does she get her time powers back because of her Benadryl baby? I'm really confused. I don't know. But remember, if they name the child Ben or Benny and it's a boy or a girl, a Betty for a girl, remember, you heard it here. Benadryl baby was here on this stream. I coined this. It is mine. If anybody else says this crap on the stream, it is plagiarism. Plot convenience is a trip. I agree. Maria, no, fanfics are better written than this. You are absolutely right. But there are some people that write some fanfics and you're like, what is happening? So they pull from them. They're the ones that don't finish the fanfics. They have like maybe 2 chapters up and then you never see them for like 12 years. Y'all don't forget Mel powers have a use. She can wake up people who fainted, ladies and gentlemen, the most powerful witches alive with her Elsa powers. Yeah. Ruby, she sees Mel walking away from her in the light and this baby makes the cake. So you turn that around and now she's bibbity boppity down. And that's what it was. It was like, who's the daddy? And then she's like, am I in the future? No answers. Cool. Well, I'm going to turn into the Flash and help you make this potion. And then we're going to sit on the porch and I'm going to tell you, or sit in the living room and tell you that I love you and I'm here for you. And I'm here for this baby, no matter what happens today, tomorrow, next month, next year, whenever you have this baby. First of all, why is Mel saying next year? She looks like she's 7 months pregnant. I've been pregnant. It only takes 9 months. So, I mean, unless she thinks she's having this baby in January and this is literally June and you're already popping like that, she's got bad math skills. I'm just saying. That is some hood names, Maria. I know. You know you like Benny. Don't even try it. The baby is the cure. Just cut that sucker open in 5 to 10 years and they're golden. The baby's the Desert Rose from Batwoman. But I like my Benadryl one better, so I'm keeping Benny. So Harry is going through puberty, got more screen time than Abby's character, and he wasn't even in the promo. I mean, technically, evil Macy got more screen time than Abby, and she didn't have any lines. What's up with the allergy? I'm so confused. I swear these writers are just dropping bombs, and now the baby's involved. I don't think we got any answers in this app, just more questions. We always have questions. We always come up with questions. We always sometimes we come out of it making very intelligent and well thought out theories. And then the episode comes out and they take a dump on it. So, I mean, is Swan dead? Was Swan not? I guess I'm assuming Swan's dead. I felt like Swan would have gone down with the ship because she loves safe space, but there's no Swan. The charm ones doom the world again. I mean, literally by the week, like every week. Harry was the most attracted to me in this episode since season 1. I miss Giles Harry. I do too. I also think that you will like him in Bridgerton since he's going to be in season 2. I'm sure I'm going to be talking about that. So I am excited. Maria, you're so right. It is a train wreck. Yep. Train didn't even leave the freaking station. I'm like, just when you thought you could escape Barry's antics by going to another show, proven wrong. Run, Harry, run. I'm never letting that go. Why did they say Mel got time magic and the power to time travel when Maggie like, oh, I found the time travel spell? You guys thought of everything except for taking two earbuds with you, like in case one of them was damaged. Hi, mercenary. So Charm is getting its own flashpoint. I can't do this anymore. What is that anime about, Maria? Are you talking about Rurouni Kenshin? Rurouni Kenshin is about an ex-samurai who basically becomes a wandering Rurouni, or he's a wandering swordsman who's poor and has a reverse sword and does not want to kill anymore. And he meets this girl named Karu, and she convinces him to stay with her at the dojo because she kind of has a thing for him. And all the people from his past keep messing their lives up. And that's basically what it's about. It's a very good series, and they made it to live action series of movies. And this is the 4th movie. So there's supposed to be 5 movies total. So we've already had 3 that came out in Japan, and now this is 4th. It's on Netflix right now. It's called Rurouni Kenshin: The Final. And then his prequel story will be Rurouni Kenshin: The Beginning, which has not been released in Japan, but I guess when it is, we'll also get it on Netflix, just like Sailor Moon Eternal. So, yeah. Done by Warner Brothers. Very good action scenes, very good story, very good everything. It is very, like, I literally left this movie to watch Charmed tonight, and I am so upset about it. I was peacefully watching Lab Rats and changed to this for what? Exactly. Like, literally, I was like, can we go back to Netflix now? I'm like, nope, because you guys would kill me. So I said, okay, I will finish this. It was hard. It was hard, guys. It was hard. And again, I like the characters in general. I can't I can't keep justifying anything they do anymore. I tried. My early reviews, I tried to find something positive to say. It is getting harder and harder, guys. I can't help it. The only positive things I have to say about this is, like, literally we saw Celeste. Man, Macy Evil is hot. Loved her hair. I like Smart Pop popcorn. There you go. Why didn't Harry just go to the house and put the watch there? It literally makes no sense. Why didn't Celeste think of that at the very effing beginning of the episode when she's like, oh, I have a replacement. They don't have to go in. It's not like they have to go upstairs. They literally could go anywhere from the command center. She could have literally teleported home through a portal into the attic, set it on the table. We already know they would have saw it in real time because when they said Macy's like, which brick, he scratched it and they saw it in real time. So she would have set it right on the table and they would have been like, oh, here it is. So I don't understand why she just didn't give it to them. Like, then it would have taken like 30 seconds for her to go through that portal and put it on the table in the attic of their mansion where they were currently sitting. Do you think you could do a live stream for Fate the Wing Saga? I'm sorry for continuing to ask this, but I need a review. I know, I'm so sorry. You were absolutely right, and you've been waiting a long time. So yes, I think I'm getting to the point where I should just do a live stream. And it sucks because I did such a good comparison with the cartoon and the actual show, which I guess I could do, but I can't use my assets in the live stream. Because when you use video and pictures in there, sometimes I can do pictures, but they usually will copyright strike you. Netflix is notorious for that too. If you're doing it as a live stream and you play a video from Netflix, you will literally get a copyright strike. So I can't. It just sucks because I put so much work in that video. I'm so angry. But it's a tech issue and I'm tired of it. So I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to bite the bullet and just do it. A former man killer, samurai assassin trying to avoid killing again. Yeah, pretty much. That is Kenshin. So if they're retconning the retcon, is Maggie getting her original powers back as well? She's the only one left. I like the writer of this episode. I don't know who the writer of this episode is, but I don't like the writer of this episode, so I'm going to disagree there. I don't know because, quite frankly, I feel like she didn't lose all of her abilities. Yes, she wasn't. I mean, I don't feel like she lost it. She still has premonition power. She's still technically an empath, with a little force push emotion stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like Maggie's really suffering, to be honest with you. Not like Mel. Mel's stuff is just weird. It's just very, very weird. I just realized the electrified energy that the charm ones generate every time they say potential triumph is similar to the World Killer's collective power in Supergirl season 3. I mean, why wouldn't it be? They have the same editing teams, probably. I don't know if they can even classify this episode as a plot hole city. At this rate, it's a nuclear bomb of rushed decisions. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. You're really not wrong. Okay, sorry about that. It kind of froze for a second. I don't think you should have turned Rurouni Kenshin off for this episode. You sounded so excited to watch Arcade yesterday. I'm going right back to it when we're done with this stream. I have 32 minutes left. It's 2 hours and 19 minutes long. I am almost there. I just got stuck at my doctor's office today for a very long time. I have an appointment, but sometimes it can be up to 2 hours before they even get you back there. And so I thought I'd be able to start it at 4 p.m. my time, and I didn't get to start it until 5. And so as 5:20, sorry. And so I literally had to turn it off to watch terms. Maggie would be like, what was B again? This is why I'm writing my own fanfics about Charm. These writers just put on a fresh coat of clown paint every week. I mean, you're not wrong. I was like, Macy evil, no, but you still my girl. I mean, like I said, I have no problem at all with Macy as an actual character. I am tired of how they write her. They write her like sometimes she's got PMS, sometimes she's fine, sometimes she's upset about something randomly, sometimes she's fine, sometimes she doesn't want to be around her sisters, sometimes she can't be without her sisters. She is so all over the place. They write her like she's literally trying to figure out if she's bipolar. And that's without being evil. When she's evil, she's just hot. I mean, it's just what it is. Maria is Enia like Fate Stay. What? I'm sorry, my brain just like went out of my mind. Ray, explain what you just said to me. I'm sure I'm fairly intelligent, but maybe not right now. I wonder if future Macy's involved in getting Maggie infected. Probably. I want to know how she got infected. And like they even said in the trailer or the promo for next week, they're like, it could be literally inside of anyone. It would be really messed up if it was Jordan, because we saw Jordan in the last episode. I will be so in my feelings if they made Jordan the catalyst for what happens to all of them. I will be so in my feelings. I don't even watch the show, but hearing people go off on it is so entertaining. I'm glad I can entertain you. Like I said, I know I'm going to get a lot of crap for this. It's just what it is. It's just some people watch it and they don't care really what happens in the plot because it's their favorite characters and they get very protective of it. And, that's their thing. And, it is what it is. But I can't pretend. I cannot be a reviewer that pretends that I give a crap about something. I've never been able to do it in real life. So I sure as hell can't do it in my own stream. So I just can't do it. And I can't. I cannot. This whole episode literally was basically like watching my dog figure out he has diarrhea. Wow, it sounds like I will be in this for a good time when I watch this at 2 a.m. Please post, Kevin, in the comments what you think when you watch this, especially since I put those little nuggets in your head. Just watch the watch. If you watch nothing else, follow the watch and then follow the replacement watch and then tell me what you think about that. Was confused why Harry Celeste needed to rush to put the watch in the wall when girls are in the future. Like, chill, you have 5 years. Also, you use the portal instead of running. Oh, Ilias, you just made another good point. You're absolutely right. He could have just used the portal to teleport to where they were. Oh, how did I miss that one? Maybe because I was so busy trying to suspend my disbelief that I missed that one altogether. You're right. Before I was like, I know the one who killed Abigail because Macy was going to come after Abigail. My name is like, let's see, Anaya, but with an E. So it's Enaya. I butcher names. I am so sorry. Don't hate me. I butcher them all the time. It's pretty, but you should do like rhymes with. I wouldn't blame Poppy for leaving Charm. The writers don't know what the hell what to do with them. I agree. I absolutely agree that they have no idea. They introduced this very amazing character that could have stayed a villain, but they decided to redeem her, but not really redeem her, make it kind of like an anti-hero, where she basically became the Charm One's biatch. That's basically what it was. And then tease her liking Mel, which everybody saw it. I remember when we first started talking about Abby Mel, and people were like, "No, that's not a thing." And then even when she literally said it with a truth serum, they're still trying to say that's BS. And I'm like, no, it's the writers. They did this. They literally made this avenue possible. They put these scenes in season 2 and a little bit in season 3 where it made it possible for people to pick that up. We got none of that with Ruby and Mel, like none. So yeah, it's a thing. I tell Poppy, you know what? I get you, girl. Run. Just run, Poppy, run. Do you think that future Mel is dead? If she is, then that means she would have had the baby in her time and not in 5 years anymore. I mean, future Mel could be hiding in Mel's past Mel's like subconscious or a dream. Because if she had the ability to do that, maybe she's hiding in there. What if future Mel wants to take over past Mel and live her best life with her baby? I don't know. There's so many things they can do with this thing. But I just think it's weird that she shows up to give Mel the magical baby, and then she's disappeared and nobody knows where she is. It doesn't make any sense to me. It just does not make sense. OMG, the portal, exactly. I mean, it makes no sense that they didn't use the portal. Could they have given Harry's immortality to Celeste since they took her as a way to go to the future so many times? Yes. Did they think about that? No, because that was not in the writers. It wasn't in the outline. I'm so done with the boohoo about a white lighter thing. This is not, it's not a major thing. He was a horrible human being, and now he's a great magical being with a great love. STFU. They always make it seem like Harry is this great guy, and he's a serial cheater. He was an a-hole before he became a white lighter. Heck, what she took out of him was his own darkness, and his own darkness formed Jimmy. What does that tell you about Harry? He was an a-hole. I don't know. I don't need another Barry Allen. Please, God, no. Nobody does. At least no one has told Harry that he's a wizard yet. Operative word there, mercenary, is yet. Seeing Macy as evil in the future reminds me of what someone said in a previous episode about her having more potential to be evil than Abby. Yeah. Always. I mean, she's very good at it. With Abby, when she's evil, she still has those eyes that make you feel bad. It's like, oh, she still has a conscience. Like, she still feels like she's doing something wrong. Macy, when she's evil, she's like, like, no, like, if you look at her face in this episode as evil, she has no conscience. She isn't blinking. She can pull evil off. Don't you know, Maria, evil has the best taste? I mean, that's not untrue. I mean, they need to have something to spice up this episode, or at least this series. Seeing Macy as evil in the future reminds me of I think I already read that one. Dan was a construction worker. Thank you, Ray. I knew it was something like contracting or something like that. Ruby and Mel's dynamic is so platonic. Why can't they just be close friends? Because I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. When Abby had the crossbow and was backing away and the fire hit her, I had a feeling it was Macy. I did too, but my problem with that is, in what world was Abby going to go down like that? Like, I don't get it. I understand she threw fire at her, and if she doesn't have her powers at all anymore, that's fine. But I mean, I thought she teleported into the room with them with the crossbow. So I call it shimmy, like the smoke shimmy. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't get how she doesn't have any of her ability, not her witch abilities, not even her demon abilities. I don't understand why she had nothing in the future. Wow, she's completely depowered. Like, as far as I know, she's not affected by the virus, so it shouldn't have messed with anything about her, even if she gave her powers back to, or gave the fire powers back to Macy. Does that mean that she's no longer a witch either? She knew spells. She was actually casting spells in season 1 and in season 2. She knew more spells than the Charm ones did. So I'm very confused on. I don't know. The writers did this to Mel. Absolutely, I blame them 100%. I mean, who got Serenity pregnant was never got the menu from Clay and Love BS that Diana got. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think that's happening in Loki too, actually. That's a whole other conversation. Yeah. Maybe Mel got herself pregnant. I don't know. Maybe the Book of Shadows got her pregnant. I want to see a full-on rage mode Macy go up against Forza. I feel like both could put up a fight, so it's hard to know which one would win. This is true. Oh, they neither of them would win because both of them will be talked down by Barry when he's a Care Bear as a Star Sapphire. He's just like, all you need to do is love and learn to get along to save Central City, and then both of them gonna be like, wait, what? I live in the Speed Force, and Macy's like, and I live in Seattle, so I'm gonna go home. Did anyone notice that Macy called Abby instead of Abigail? Yep. She actually seemed like she cared. It was weird. And she actually seemed put off that she killed Abby. And I'm like, why? You've been wanting to kill her all this time. I said, why can't we just find out an answer to one question instead of making more questions for us to ponder over our confused and frankly disappointed CW writers? Hey, how are you doing, Miss Pretty Brown Eyes? I loved Harry in this episode. Harry, I think everybody kind of connected with him because he was very childlike. He did, at times, the 10-year-old tantrums got on my nerves. But again, I'm coming from it in a different perspective as a mother of an almost 25-year-old. Those days are gone for me. So now when I'm seeing it, I'm like, great, boy, go sit down before I tan that butt. We went from Ruby being uncertain about her and Mel's relationship even existing to U-hauling to the back of the Subaru. I mean, that's what's happening. They are the U-Haul couple. How can Mel be pregnant with a magical baby without the baby affecting her? Because you know how in the comic book world, when we talk about comic book plots, and you know, a lot of people say that. I think me and Ernie have been saying this for a long time. It's just because comics. Because Charmed. That's all I got to say. That's a protective bubble I'm giving you. Because Charmed. Where magical plot holes appear all the time. I thought Ruby was going to have a problem with kids. That's where I thought this was going, but they just completely 180'd every concern she threw at Mel. Because, I mean, I wish my marriage worked that way. I wish everybody's relationship worked like that. I wish you did not have to worry about any conflicting interests or anybody's personality, you know, defects with each other or anything that just makes you seem that you're not as compatible as you thought. I mean, I don't get it because that is not the real world. That is not how relationships work. You have to go through it to fix it. Relationships that are worthwhile are hard as hell. So U-Haul relationships are not real. They're just not. We all know this. Like within 6 months to a year, the honeymoon is over. So I don't get this. Point A, I don't want to be with somebody who does magic. Well, I can't give up magic. Well, what does that mean for us to, me and Ruby are hanging out all the time, but this magic allergy thing is just getting on my nerves to, oh, you have a baby now. I got you some snacks and some prenatal stuff for vomiting and all that. Oh, by the way, who's the daddy? And where was I in the future too? It doesn't matter. I'm here for you and the kid and I love you. That's literally verbatim what happened with them in this episode. So yeah. Abby could still teleport via smoke. Thank you, Jed. I thought so. So when she's like, no, stop, don't. She could have been like, shimmy, 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 shimmy. I'm like, teleport out. So therefore I don't die. And they could have been like, that biatch left us again to save herself. Because that's the typical conversation of Charmed. Instead, they effing killed Abby. And she let herself be killed. She literally let herself die. If I could teleport, I would be somewhere completely far, far, far away from where they are. But that is not what happened in this show. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Macy is a lot more powerful as Abby. I mean, it's Goku and Vegeta tier-wise, but she has more knowledge. Still, if you can teleport, Ray, it doesn't matter how powerful you are when you're not there. I love steampunk. So do I. That's why I love shows like Garo and Takusatsu. Amazing. When Ruby asked Mel if they were still together in the future, I literally screamed, please, God, break up. I'm aware that I'm biased toward Abby and Mel happening. You know, I would love to have Abby and Mel happen, but it's not even about that for me. It's so about the fact that they have U-Haul the couple, and it's like representation of an LGBT couple on a show that quite frankly, has advertised itself as many things. One, they said they were going to be a very Latina-driven show when they only have one Latina character in real life. You know, Mel is the only actress that actually is Latina in the entire show. And that, to me, is already weird that you have two women who are mixed with the exact same mix almost that I have in real life and are playing half Hispanic or half Latina women. And they're not even of that culture. But yet nobody calls that cultural appropriation. I always thought that was very strange. And then you have them representing or saying, oh, we finally have a lesbian character in Charm. Because if you watch OG Charm, you'll see how problematic it is that they live in San Francisco and there was no representation hardly. And if you did see it, it was so minute and very, very quick that it was completely brushed out. Because, you know, it was the 90s, or, you know, they don't do that. You know, they don't talk about being queer, even though San Francisco is one of the largest cities for queers or LGBT people in the whole freaking country. So very problematic when you have representation of one LGBT character that literally cannot have a stable relationship in any season. And then you finally give her one and it's a U-Haul. That is such BS for me. And that is coming from a queer person. That is a queer perspective. So like when other people review this crap, unless they are in the LGBT community, I don't even take them seriously because I can't relate to anything they're talking about because they are not in an LGBT relationship. I am in a marriage that's LGBT and I know how hard it is. And I know that this is not how you do it. This is not good representation of an LGBT community, you know, relationship. It is a great stereotypical representation, which sometimes isn't the stereotype, of U-hauling, because that is basically what's happening in this series. And I stand by that, and that's where it is. Hashtag U-Haul in Charmed. Abby with a crossbow makes me think she didn't even have powers in the future. She looked like Katniss, though. She was kind of hot. Exactly, the writing sucks. Yep. Clearly, Macy's intelligence is influenced by the writing. I mean, I get what you're saying, Ray, but I mean, it's just weird because genetics also does not play into creating magical steampunk bugs that are earbugs. That's not her. That is not what she's supposed to be doing either. So why can't you figure out the inner workings of a clock or a watch? I'm just asking questions. I'm just now noticing, but is the Vita and Madison Super Sentai counterparts on the shelf? Wait. I'm just noticing, but is that Vita and Madison Super Sentai counterparts on the shelf behind me? Yes. You're talking about this shelf right here. That is Ulala and Hoka from Maji Ranger, which is the original. And I also have Maji Blue right here. And I also have Maji Phone. And I have Smokey. And I can't pick it up anymore, but I have the Maji staff with all the crystals too. I'm a huge Sentai nerd too, guys. You should know this about me. I collect things. But it wasn't a backup watch. It was a backup gear for the watch. Even still, they put it behind a brick. And I'm sorry, that's not how HGTV works. HGTV has educated me on what it takes to get through a brick wall. And it's not with Dollar Tree scissors. I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I wanted to see future Mel and future Abby interact in this episode. Why do the writers just disappoint us more every week? Because they don't know how to write. I mean, before I was like, the killer is Macy because she killed Abigail, and we know she doesn't like Abigail. My name is like, I with an E. So yeah, I know. I'm trying. I'm gonna get this name down. Because the writers hate us. Absolutely. This episode has finally given me some Ruby stuff, even though I'm so team Abby, but they need more of this. And Maria, you know that portion of our people be U-hauling like MF. Oh yeah, but the thing is, when you are literally having a baby and considering yourself a full-fledged mature adult in a mature relationship, it's not technically U-hauling. But for some reason in this show, it is U-hauling. And that is why it is highly problematic. And when you're a TV show that's representing the positive aspects of being in the LGBT relationship, this is not what you do. You don't give us this. This is not what you do. I mean, Mel has been such a flighty character with Nico, with, technically Jada had to run because, she got scared of Fiona in the source. But even with Jada, it was kind of wishy-washy. Got close to her enough to know she was an orphan and then was like, okay, we're out. Kat is ridiculous. That whole interaction with Kat was ridiculous. I don't even know what they were doing. She literally just kissed that girl to get that magic store and did nothing with it. Magic store is just gone. I mean, I don't even see the magic store anymore. And now you've got, Ruby. And Ruby is just like the girl she's used. She just decided, this is who I choose to U-Haul. That is literally what I get out of this whole thing. So it's crazy. Where's Harry? What do you mean? Don't make me tell River you're into bi-magical creatures. River, I'm into bi-magical creatures. Like, told on myself. I have an very open line of communication in my marriage. I wonder if Macy sees her future self kill Abby is going to make her be more open to giving Abby a second chance. That woman can hold a grudge. No, not at all. Because that's not what the writers are going to do. It's going to be retcon 100%. I love Teenage Harry. Yeah, Teenage Harry was funny. Ruby and Mel is the off-screen relationship of the CW history books. Level up besides Kevin on Riverdale. Well, Kevin's still trying, though. Let's be real. He's still trying. Every time I thought we were going to get some answers about the plot, just cut abruptly to a completely different scene. So frustrating. It does seem like they filmed a lot more than we actually got, and they just edited it. Wouldn't it be interesting if they actually did film like 3 hours worth of content, and then they just picked random scenes and sliced them together, and they made absolutely no sense? Wouldn't be the first time that happened. Of all the charm ones, I feel like Mel should have been the one to do the whole year of me thing and not Maggie. Well, Maggie's been doing the year of me since season 1, so I don't know what the hell she's talking about. I love me some Abby. I love Abby too. Hey, Justin. Get them thumbs up, guys. And yeah, because Justin told me to do. Macy's overall animosity towards Abby was totally void when she encountered her in the future. She was just like, oh, hey, you're here. It just makes no sense. It's what it is. Honestly, if Poppy Drayton's leaving the show, I don't blame her. The writers don't know what the F to do with anything. I agree. I absolutely agree. That's exactly why I stopped watching it and only watch Approach to Nerd, because the writing after season 2 was for the birds. I mean, and it's sad because, again, this is a show that has so much potential. That is what's so infuriating. It's like the characters have so much potential. They could be living their daily lives, dealing with daily life. It seems like every week is some crazy future apocalyptic crap that they solve either in 1 or 2 episodes, but really, do they solve it? No, it just opens another can of stupidity and stuff to happen again in the next week. It makes my head hurt. It really does. And I love reviewing stuff. And I'm just to the point now where I'm like, I don't even want to speculate on what's happening because there's no point, because I'm going to be wrong. I'm literally going to be wrong. The only thing I've been right about is the fact that they keep retconning stuff. So, I mean, it's stupid. It's just stupid. I don't hate Abby. It's just that I wish there was more development for her and Mel to be connected. Abby started out as a soon-to-be established character. I kind of see that, but in season 2, they did start bonding. Like when she kept saving Mel, she saved Mel when they were locked in the prison. She saved Mel again. Like she didn't abandon her when she could teleport away. When they were at the apartment getting ingredients for helping them find Harry. She's basically saved Mel when they threw Harry's tube that he was in through the portal in the command center, and she caught it because Mel couldn't they didn't have their full powers back yet, so she would have been crushed to death. All of the little conversations they had where, Abby confided in her about, not being close to her witch side because of her mom and all of this stuff. Her and Mel had these bonding conversations. We don't see that with Ruby. We don't. And that is the problem. They keep literally showing this relationship to us that doesn't exist. And it's very effing weird. If you ask me what I know about Ruby, outside the fact that one of her, I think it was her mother or her grandmother, is magical and she hates being magical, and she likes soccer, and her and Mel had a bunch of one-night stands. I know nothing else about this woman. Oh, she has the Instagram friend that likes to give them brownies or cookies or whatever the heck they were into that made Mel jealous. But outside of that, I know nothing about this woman. Nothing. Well, Ruby seemed intended as a 2-episode character. I feel like she wasn't even meant to be a 2-episode character. I feel like she got promoted real quick after COVID. I don't know what happened. Scylla is a sociopath. I agree. And people will be all up in my behind when I review this show. So it's crazy. Even the creator and like the other actors are all like pro, this whole thing. And I'm like, I don't understand how murder became a gray area, but apparently in that show it is. So I'll be in my feelings on that too. People will be hating me. I'll probably lose like hundreds of subscribers, but I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be honest as hell on that show, and that's just what it is. While Ruby seemed intended as a 2-episode character, I feel like I read that one. I feel also that Ruby. At first, I thought Ruby was going to be a villain. I don't know why I thought that. I thought the way she was going, they were going to find out that she was magical and that she was somehow going to be working with Julian and them. And when that didn't pan out, it was like, oh, you really have no purpose. Okay, cool. You're just the U-Haul girl. That's basically what you are. Initially, I liked season 3 when it first started, but once we got to like 3, I was frustrated. And that's the thing. Sometimes they will have an episode that actually is pretty good, but it doesn't tie in with the rest of the shows. And then you find yourself saying, wow, it's almost like I'm coming home to after school specials and none of them are connected. When they first introduced Ruby in season 2, I thought she was supposed to be a one-night stand and that was going to be the end of it. Me too. But little did we know that they were going to be in love with each other somehow. Thank God the charm ones aren't real. Otherwise, we'd be screwed. Oh, yes, we would absolutely be screwed. So Motherland Fort Salem is back on Tuesday. I wasn't keeping track on the exact date it came back. I already have a stream scheduled for after it airs. So it is, if you post it, it should be in the Nerd Vault or on the video timeline. So just make sure you put the notification up because I'm going live right after the show airs, the premiere airs, and we are going to talk about it. So yeah, 22nd. This episode was crazy. I didn't even recognize it as Charmed. That's how crazy it was. I agree. I can't. I just can't. With fanfics, you either get a blurb of confusion and grammatical errors or unfinished plot lines, or you get something good, or all of the above. Honestly, you never know. And there are some fanfics that actually have a lot of grammatical errors in it, but it's still really good. So I kind of like know what they're saying, so I kind of brush over it. But plot-wise, I'll literally read something and I'm like, this is a effing good plot, and I wish I did this in this show or this movie. And then you'll get the official canon plot or the story by the writers of the TV shows or whatever. And you're like, can you go talk to this fanfic writer? Because they got a better understanding of what's happening with these characters than you do. It's weird. The writers have finally broken my mind. Oh, you think it's broken now? Just wait till next week. Oh, just wait. I got a feeling in my gut. Oh, Lord. We have our theories and the writers go, well, what if we do that? But the opposite. Yeah. Like in season 2, I called a lot of stuff ahead of time. I was like, yeah, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. It still wasn't good, but I called it. Season 3, I'm like, no, I'm not even going to try. I got to the point where I just don't even care anymore. I don't care if I have a theory. And that's so unlike me, but I don't care if I have a theory or if it's even right. Because the only thing I do care about is that the baby is named Benny or Ben for Benadryl. And that's all I want to know. The baby is the Benadryl for the allergy. I also think that they are going to do something so weird in the season finale, and then we're going to get season 4, and it's not going to matter. But like nothing that happens in the season 3 finale will even play out in the season premiere of season 4. I feel like I can't even make theories anymore because we just get more bluster and BS in every episode. Yeah, Charmed is getting crazy. I'm telling you. I wonder if it's because of COVID. Everybody was writing from home. So people just were like stir crazy in their house. And they're like, I'm going to put this. Like you have some mad scientist looking writer. I'm like, what if I did this to Abigail? And what if I made Maggie do this? Ooh, that doesn't make sense. But it'd be cool if this character joined in. It's just like. And then nobody was there to say, no. You're messing up. So, yeah, obviously the continuity writer and continuity and the editors are not checking any of the scripts. The CW writers just make me question my own IQ. Yeah, you're going to see that across every show they do, unfortunately. Have you Shaman King 2020 yet? Have I seen it? I have not. I think I'm pretty sure my daughter was talking about that. So I'm pretty sure she has. She's either seen it or is going to, but I have not. I also have not checked out a lot of the E3 trailers, which is unlike me. But again, I have been super busy. So, yeah. I'm so bad because 313 was so good. And, of course, this show goes downhill again. Yeah, that seems to be a trend. I love Orville Redenbacher popcorn, especially the theater butter brand. I love popcorn in general. It's my favorite snack, but yeah, it's a thing. Will you be seeing the new Pixar movie, Luca? Yes. I love Pixar movies, so I try and catch all of the animated movies. To date, though, my favorite animated movie is still Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya is cool. And I'm so like I knew that she potentially was LGBT before her voice actors even said it. Because I mean, it's very obvious. I feel trapped by Charm because no matter how bad it gets, I'm still gonna finish the season, even if I'm boiling with rage. Oh, that's what we do. We always look at the train wreck. We're just programmed as humans. Writing fanfiction is my only source of therapy for the show, and I stand by that statement. I mean, yeah. Their Charm fan fiction is pretty good. Yeah, there's a lot of fanfics out there that are really, really good. For Charmed and a bunch of other. If you ever get disappointed on a show, just go read fanfic. That's what I do. Charmed is using spells to confuse my mind. Maybe we have an allergy to the plot. We try and see the plot and it repels us. That's what's happening. We have plot allergies. I'm on a roll tonight. Plot allergies, Benadryl, baby. Guys, you guys are making me feel better. I must say I'm watching Rurouni Kenshin. I have no idea what's going on, but the Waifu is on par with Hong Kong sword fighting movies. I'm telling you, it's going to be it's going to be amazing for you. I'm kind of biased because I've seen all of the anime and I've read all of the manga. I'm even reading the sequel manga right now. But even if you've not seen one Rurouni Kenshin movie, which you should, it's not a bad time. It's not gonna put you off. You're just gonna be confused on who the characters are because they were already established in the first movie. You might be able to find the first one too. I know they're on Prime. I don't know if they're streaming anywhere else, but I know Prime has them. You might have to rent it though. I'm not sure. But yeah, they're very, very good movies. Maybe Macy is just bipolar. That would explain a lot. No, don't torture Jordan more. I hope they don't. Oh my gosh. I'm so worried because every time Jordan comes in there, they're either using him as a therapist, a way to get something done, or he's being tortured. I'm so over them abusing him. Either that or Macy has really bad anger management. I think she has. She's angry. Maria, I will still rack my brain to formulate an essay for you in the comments, but I'm telling you, it's going to be rough. I need you guys to do that because my anemia does not let me write paragraphs anymore. I'm like, Maria, you are my Miss Minutes of reviewer. I want to be on the news. And today's episode of Charmed, it sucked major balls. So let's move on. If you were hoping that this was going to clarify some things for you in the plot, you were completely wrong. Maybe next week. Why even put a nugget for Abby Mel in this show by making Abby admit her feelings? It's literally queer bait. Oh, yeah, they're queer baiting like hell. They've been queer baiting. No, I need this plot. I need Jordan to be turned to a Cole-like character. Wow, Jordan is evil would be cool. Though, wouldn't that just reenact his would it not reactivate his curse? Like if he turned into a butthole? I don't know how that would work. I feel like that would be what would happen. In the future, this is messed up. How did Mel have the time to get pregnant? That's my question. You're right. With all the apocalypse happening, how are you locked up now? Yeah. This is very entertaining. I love it. Welcome, Damiela. If you really want to see how off the rails I am, I'm pretty sure you're starting from the beginning of the stream. But if not, just when you have time, just really go through my recap. I try to make it real for you guys, even though I naturally seem to be on crack. I'm waiting for Madeline Mantock, aka Macy, to say she's pregnant. I'm screaming like, ah. I don't even think she's dating anyone in real life, so that's gonna be interesting. I need them to write out a beloved character and turn him inside out after his time in hell. Wow, Ray, you're getting dark with this. My worst fear for this show is turning Abby's character into Cole and killing her off. I mean, essentially, that's what they're doing, even though, at least Cole got to be with Phoebe. I seriously can't handle these writers torturing Jordan's character anymore. I agree. Abby did say that this plague or whisper death of sorts was affecting demons too. Yeah, it was affecting everyone in the magical world. I'm glad we get to see Jordan again. We don't know. They might turn him again, and this time he will run to Mexico. Why not? I mean, let's be clear. Isn't that what happened at the end of the Army of the Dead movie on Netflix? The dude ended up going to Mexico. I don't know. Heck, Jimmy is more valid than mortal Harry. That is true. I don't think Jimmy's dead, though. I think they left that door or plot open for potentially having him come back. And I'm okay with it. It would be interesting if he came back now and Harry's immortal. That would be very interesting. Macy Evo makes me know legit that I'm queer and fluid because she can get it. I'm not gonna lie to you. She was hot. Abby got soft because she wants Time Witch box, the same box that made Ruby change her whole life and convictions in 2 milliseconds. I mean, there's a reason. There is a reason that she 100% became part of Team Mel's resistance. Because Abby could have been like, I'm going to go hide and live my life. No, she's like, I was with Mel and I was part of the resistance, what was left of us. And I'm like, It's funny who you ran to, Abby. Logically, I don't know how Melby's future dynamic makes sense at all with kids in the picture and Melby's future. I think that they never really said that Abby didn't like kids. We've never actually established anything about her and kids, to be honest. She was too busy having traumatizing issues about her mom. So, thing. It's 2021. I'm a feminist, and she don't need no man to get pregnant. She the damn Time Witch might drop to you, Wanda. And Wanda's like, I want my boys back. So who is Mel's baby baddie? Who knows? Maybe a whole freaking bottle of Benadryl. Like Benadryl, Benny, Mel. Allergy, the allergy cure. Mel got knocked up by a bottle of Benadryl. I mean, who was Wanda's baby daddy? Wanda. Technically Vision, although that raises many questions. In the comics, it literally was not. She literally just took the shards from Mephisto that she got from little Franklin Reeve, and made her kids. And then they got reincarnated later and became Young Avengers. So, yeah. People tend to not care about cultural appropriation, honestly. I know. It's a thing. I actually, I'm doing a video on a lot of the stuff that I just talked about in terms of that with another YouTuber who is also mixed like me, and talking about mixed identity erasure and, media and how, it's just a lot of stuff. And I did like a little thing on my community board. I also did it on Facebook where I asked people if they didn't know what I was, what do you think nationality or ethnicity I would be? And I'm getting all kinds of things. I mean, I think I got like almost 40 posts on Facebook of Asian, Hispanic, Native American, like Inuit. I mean, Filipino. I have 4 people who thought I was Korean. And I'm like, do you watch K-dramas? None of them look like me. I'm like, my spouse is Korean American and doesn't look like me. Though, to be fair, when I was getting my marriage license, they did ask me if my spouse was my sister, which that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. So I think that cultural appropriation, honestly, it only applies to people who don't look ambiguous. And that's messed up. I'm sorry. That is messed up. I'm going to ask Anne to give you the bracelets of submission for River. That's what you want. Oh, Lord. Hey, he is the dad, but not the father. Benadryl, you are the father. Although speaking of Vision, that reminds me of an article while they were talking about giving making robots gay. Oh no. Why, Kevin? Abby is still can perform one of the 7 wonders, so she can still be the Supreme someday. I want Abby and Mel to happen so bad. I mean, I would like them to happen, but if she's gonna leave the show, there's no point. Abby sacrificed herself to save the Charmed Ones against it's so annoying. Again, so it's so annoying. Can we please get the Charmed Ones to willingly help Abby without it having to be forced or because they want something? Yeah. I mean, everybody sacrifices for them. I mean, it's just what happens. It's just what continuously happens. I wanted to find out more about Mel's resistance, but they had to vanquish future Abby. I know. And I really think Mel may be still hiding in future Mel still may be hiding in Mel. I was not prepared for this. Nobody was. Power Rangers Donna Fury is putting putting new episodes on Netflix. That's good because they've been taking Power Rangers a lot off of Netflix. So that's good that we're getting something back because I know a lot of the other shows are already gone. Yeah, Nun and OG. What if Macy had the evil we saw in the future in her the whole time, and the thing that set off was losing Harry, or her sister just pushed her to the edge? That could be it. I can see that. I love your TARDIS you have on the shelf. Oh, that one? Oh, yeah, I have a lot of Doctor Who stuff. My mother was British, and that was one of her favorite shows. So she kind of like, that was one of my Sesame Streets. My doctor is Tom Baker, if you know that Doctor run, but I love Doctor Who. And we may be getting some more changes in that, which will be very interesting. San Francisco is gay mecca. It is. It absolutely is. It's also nudity mecca. I went there for Pride in 2017, and I didn't realize that people were walking around naked and no one blinked an eye. I was literally in Starbucks, and somebody was behind me, and he had no clothes on, and nobody blinked an eye. And I'm like, oh, so we're doing this now. Why was Abby dressed like Huntress from Suicide Squad? Because they wanted to really reuse that costume again. As a gay woman, I don't like being stereotyped as a U-Haul, so I just frown at what this show is doing to Mel B's relationship in general. I agree. I'm going to be real with you. One of the most healthy relationships that I've seen in the CW so far, I'll say two, because one's really new. One is Ryan and Joe from Kung Fu, because I like how they communicate with each other and talk to each other about things. And the other one is Sarah and Ava. And Ava is literally a clone. So, I mean, and in Legends is never to be taken seriously. So I really love that they at least have two representations. But I mean, every other couple that we have seen, even I love Clark and Lexa. I root for Grace and Anissa, but they are just as toxic sometimes. Well, more Anissa, just as toxic as her parents in Black Lightning when that was on. Like every queer representation. Don't get me started on Legacy. I can't. I just can't. Legacy actually really bothers me with LGBT. I think they have the worst, besides Nancy Drew with Bess and Liza Beth, it had the worst representation for LGBTQ on any, Arrowverse show or any CW show I have seen to date. And that's sad. And they even killed Lexa. And I still think that what happened with Liza Beth and Bess to this date was just stupid. So yeah, I have lots of issues with that. Ruby is more like the person she is for convenience, never really gives her problems and goes with whatever she. Yeah, it's just like she doesn't have a voice. It's what people were saying was happening with Tony when it was Cheryl and Tony. Yeah, Tony didn't have literally a mind of her own. She was just always for Cheryl, that support Cheryl, do what Cheryl wants. I like Cheryl and Tony together, but I do agree that they really made Tony a yes ma'am. And that's basically what Ruby is. I don't know why they can't write people that way or write people like they have a brain, but it's weird. You're giving me Esmeralda realness in the blue top girl working. Wear a poncho next time and give me vintage Ugly Betty for the throwbacks. What am I gonna do with you, Ray? I don't know. Hi, Liana. How are you, Liliana? That was a show. Has gone. It's sad. Yep. Just remember, I've been trying tirelessly several times a day to make a baby. Maybe I need to do the time witch thing too and say something magic happens. No, you just need to get some Benadryl. I told you, you're not listening to me, Ray. The fact that one of the main characters being gay meant so much for queer women, only to have her mostly ignored and having her main relationships be off screen for me. I agree. I absolutely agree. There's no representation whatsoever with that. I get so annoyed when they're just always saying, we're just trailblaking. We dare to defy. I'm like, yeah, you dare to defy real representation. That's what you really should be saying. I love the Charm characters, but the CW writing room is just awful. It's not even just Charmed. I feel like I can't even watch anything consistent on this program anymore. It's getting bad. It really is. It seems to me like the shows that do better are the ones that aren't actually in the CW scope. Like Stargirl, I think, still has its own team of writers from when they were back on DC Universe, and Superman and Lois obviously is not written by anybody in the Arrowverse because I mean it's basically HBO. They might as well just move it to HBO, to be honest. When they do Lantern, they should just move the show to HBO. But yeah, the rest of it is it's a train wreck. It is literally a train wreck. I don't know. Macy is the hold a grudge champ. Well, don't mess up with her. She is. She be holding a grudge like a mother. It's like 20 years down the line. Remember that time that you pulled my hair in 3rd grade? And I'm like, no, I do. Clearly, you just need to become a rich. Yeah, Abimael does have had slow build up, but I don't think many people notice it because they don't realize it's seen as romantic. Yeah, they weren't looking at it. It's really weird. Yeah, that sucks too. I think I mentioned that in a comment last week because Mel has had the same screen time out of 3 sisters this season thus far. She doesn't have hardly anything anymore. She has the least out of everybody. It's weird. It's weird when even they had Jordan, they were writing him to put her down. It was very strange. Yep, Susie, I've seen people mention that. We just need to seek shelter if we ever get on Macy's bad side. I agree with that. How do you know I'm not? Mistress 9 is my spirit animal. I'm done with you. Oh Lord, I feel like the only consistent show on the CW is Superman, and that's because of HBO Max. I agree with that. I think that Stargirl is also going to be good when it comes in August. Macy, don't forget nothing. If you mess up with her, Cardi B said, "What? If a girl have beef with me, she gonna have beef with me forever." Yeah, that's a mess. Make sure to leave a like on the stream, guys. Yay, please leave a like. That's how people know that we're here. I can't believe I'm almost to the end. I'm loving it. I feel the magical sickness and whispering evil are one of the same because them ending it, the allergy with the egg only created more chaos outside the Charm sphere of influence they have. Yep. And we're getting magical Benadryl. So, I mean, it's fine. To face it head on in order to vanquish the evil and cure the sickness. Like I said, I mean, they might as well have had a Wyatt variation. Still interesting that it's the middle sister that once again is pregnant with the pseudo magical baby. So that's interesting too. Because they had to do it. I mean, her getting pregnant in real life was just a way of them bringing in another plot from the original one and then twisting up and doing something else. I remember CW having writing issues that preceded COVID. Yeah, you're right. I was trying to help them. I really was. The only consistent show on CW is Clark being a bad father to his human kid and showing Brightburn showering Brightburn in attention. I agree with that. Blaming COVID-19 is too easy. I know. I'm trying. I am trying. What E3 trailers were you looking to check? That's the thing. I don't know. Again, I've been telling you, I've been going to lots of doctors, guys. When I say I am professional, I had 9 doctor appointments this week, starting today. I am not completed with my doctor's appointments until the first week of July. Because they even have a follow-up on July 23rd, honestly. But I'm going in it, trying to get my anemia fixed. I also have another condition I'm trying to make sure it does not bother me in the future. So I have been busy with that, but yeah, I really love E3, and so I'm very, very behind. And my daughter checked them all out, so she's been emailing me stuff, but I haven't been, because she'll go in her room and email it while she's at work. But I haven't had a chance to look at any of them, so I will let you know which trailers I'm checking out, because I don't know. I'm so behind, guys. Say you find a morpher to morph or not morph, keep it real. You're going to risk your life and squeeze into the latex and still going to flip burgers and ride that bus after saving the world. Nope. I do have my Go Kaiser. You need my Go Kaiser one right there. My Go Kaiser. Morpher is right there. I can tell writers don't have the shoulder tapping person to help out and tell them don't do this, don't do that. They don't. They don't. Have y'all watched Cruella? Not yet. Hello, Madam Scorpio. We have to vanquish the CW, so they write better Charm storylines and maybe even Supergirl storylines. Well, Supergirl's leaving, so that train is the ship has sailed, is what I'm trying to say, because there's no point. They're done with that show. There's nothing else. Now, they could write her as cameos or maybe come in at with a crossover randomly in the future, because I think they're going to do some, but yeah, her show's gone. OMG, I'm obsessed. Okay, Rurouni Kenshin is on Prime. I got a subscription. I'll have to check. Yes, it is on Prime. I just don't remember if they're charged. Sometimes they do it where they have it Prime and you can watch it for free, and then sometimes you have to rent it. So you might have to rent it. I'm hoping that's not the case, but that might be. I haven't checked. I think it should be. I think it should be a showrunner job, but I feel we are already set in watching the show burn after they removed the season 1 showrunners. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. That was very stupid. There's no way this show is getting a season 5, as reviewers were all livid. It will actually probably, because the Steve Irwin will do it, even though they haven't gotten ratings back. Because look, Nancy Drew's getting season 3, and I have no idea why. I'm so livid about when I consider it. I haven't seen it yet, but I've got to come and support you. I appreciate it. I've been ranting, and I want to know what you think about it in the comments. Please pay attention to details and use critical thinking, because I know you will, and then see the people that do not. That's all I'm going to say. People talk about Maggie and Jordan's age difference, but the actors in real life are only 2 years apart in age, so I can easily look past this. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Maria, are you into Troll Hunters? I love the series. I don't think I've seen Troll Hunter. Can you roast Treats? It's a Filipino animal. Is it Treats? Is that the one where she is I want to say she's like a mediator between the demon world and humans or something like that, and her whole family did that or something? Because I think I saw a preview for that. It looked really interesting. The show had so much potential, so it got ruined because writers or someone didn't care enough to check things. That makes sense. Yep. She said she controlled time, so she probably slowed it down so she can have more than enough time to spare to be pregnant. Well, if she can slow down time, nobody should be dead. That's really weird. Just freeze the thing that's trying to infect you and then seal it somewhere in the Tomb of Chaos. I don't know. That's a great idea. I can't stand Toby at all, though. Which is why we can ignore canon and fix it with fanfics. I'm telling you, I'm really inspired to read fanfics tonight. I really am. I'm just but I have to go finish watching Rurouni Kenshin, which I'm going to go do in a minute. We got a few more minutes, and then I'm going to end the stream because we are at 1 hour and 41 minutes and counting. But we've been getting a lot done in terms of pretty much agreeing that something is wrong with this episode. Something's just wrong with it. Please let me know if other reviewers and other people loved it, because I would love to know their points of view, because I don't share it and I don't understand it. So I'm really curious, because again, the only reviewer of Charmed I've ever seen besides mine are Eloy's, and that's only by accident. And then he messaged me and then we became friends. So then I kind of check his stuff out, and normally we kind of agree on some of the stuff. And so I usually can talk to him about stuff, and even if we don't agree completely, we can kind of see each other's points. But I've never checked other reviewers out, because I don't like going to reviewers that are just like, I love this and I think this is going to be awesome, but not really give any insight into why you think it's awesome or any theories and stuff like that. I don't watch other Charms, so I don't have any names. I don't watch other reviewers, but I really am curious to know if anybody that reviews this likes this episode, because I cannot wrap my mind around it. I just can't. I can't foresee anybody who reviews this honestly liking this episode. So I don't know. Power of the P. Are we going to go with the fact that the P is the names of all the OG people? Please, Maria, talk like that all the time. I need this energy in Miss Minutes. You know what? I'm giving you all the energy I have, because when you have an email, you don't have any. So all of mine are for you guys. I am the most animated when I talk to you, because throughout my daily life, I am like a zombie. If what happens to Harry happens to Jimmy, then does that mean that Jimmy is mortal now too? Interesting. Good question, Sunrise. Very good question. In theory, I guess, yeah. But that's interesting. At this point, I'm just waiting for Harry immortality stuff to be over so we can focus on someone else. And you're not wrong. As much as I think Harry is a likable character, he got so much focus on season 2, and it is very much a Hasty theme show. Everybody else stuff takes a backseat to Hasty. Not saying I don't like Hasty, it's just what it is. And then the little stuff they focus outside of that, they just make completely dysfunctional. So it's a thing. I feel like Abby could handle a kid, but she was overprotected with the telepathic witch. Yeah. I think a kid would humble her, though. I think she would be fine. All you need some vodka and poor choices on one good night, and they can happen. Whammo, pregnant for a dude that plays Xbox all day and don't leave your couch. It would be funny if it ended up being Ruby's roommate. I would laugh so hard. But it doesn't make sense because Mel specifically said that she did not want to be with men. She tried it and it was not for her. So her character is not bisexual. Her character is supposed to be lesbian. And so I don't know. And again, I mean, I believe we are all on the spectrum in some way, but I feel like for representation, the purposes of the show, she's not. She is very clear that she is into women. So I don't know what happened. I really don't. Other than my theory that it's a bottle of Benadryl. I mean, not just Avengers, the two greatest Avengers. Mixed her two Jewish and black. Yeah, like in the show, Maggie's actress in real life is indigenous and black and white in real life. And Macy is, I think her family's from the Jamaica. So half Jamaican and half British or English is what she is. So they're both mixed with white and black basically. And with Maggie, Maggie's closer to me because my grandfather was Apache and my grandmother was black on my dad's side. My dad looks completely black. And then my mother was born and raised in Scotland. Her family's still over there. So it's interesting. It's interesting what we all come out looking different. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, me being a natural, like having naturally curly hair, I feel like mostly, not all, but mostly every mixed girl that I've ever met has had some form of curly hair. And I don't know why. It just seems to be, a prerequisite. No matter what shade you come out with curly hair. I don't know what it is. There are some exceptions, but those are the ones that normally pass more for black or more for white or more for whatever they're mixed with. But primarily, especially in white and black mixes, we normally come out with some form of curly hair. And it's very interesting. Why was Drax trying to rob a bank during a zombie apocalypse, and why me carrying those little butter knives? They can fight those. Ray, you know I can't answer that for you. I mean, I love Abby, but she's definitely not watching my kids with no boxes in the vicinity. I would like one of the Charmans to be evil. That would be cool. I mean, we already got Macy. I mean, she was really, really, really hot as an evil, whatever that thing is. The sound she was making, though, really did sound like a cross between Aliens and the Predator in those movies. I was like, they should have a musical episode. I think they can't because Mel's actress can't sing. It would only be Maggie and Macy, because I think those are the only two actresses that could sing. Well, I mean, Harry's actor probably can, but they'd have to leave Mel out. Mel said in an interview she's tone deaf, so she wouldn't be able to do anything. Don't get me started about Ava. I love Ava. I love Ava too. Okay. I'm bisexual and I can't stand how they're doing Abby. Yep. It's a mess. It is absolutely a complete. I mean, to me, it's offensive, honestly. Sarah and Ava are an oasis in a desert that is repping the CW. I agree with that. Legends it's so weird that a show that you cannot take seriously it's just campy and fun and on crack is the one show that gets representation right. It's so weird. It's just so weird to me. But whatever, it is what it is. All right. So it is like 1 hour and 48 minutes. We have done our stream tonight because, I got more stuff to do tomorrow. I got a Rurouni Kenshin video. I got the Owl House season 2, episode 2 review to do, which we probably, when I get back, I do have a meeting at 1, but I'm going to try and get that up by 2. And I'm going to try and get Kenshin's, I'm probably going to try and do them back to back. And then I also apparently need to do the Fate Winx Saga live stream scheduling. I can't do it Sunday because I'm doing a podcast, but I'll probably do it on Monday. So I will set up the Fate Winx Saga so we can finally get that freaking review done that I've been trying to get the video fixed forever. And it's not fair to you guys, so I need to get that done. So I also need to fix a video for my other channel. If you are not subscribed to Approach the Yuri, it is my more Yuri, yaoi, LGBT themed channel, basically, where I just talk about manga and shows and characters that are in the LGBT community. Thinking about moving the L Word Generation Q reviews to that, but I'm not sure yet. I gotta see, because I also like doing it on here in real time and live streams. So we'll see. We'll see what I do with that when the L Word Generation Q starts. But remember the rules, guys. Put the comments below so we can keep our wonderful train talking on the train wreck that was this episode going, so other people can be involved. Don't be in your feelings if people like this episode and want to come in here and challenge it. I never let those comments get to me, so please don't let it get to you. It is an imaginary show. We just like to talk about it because it's a train wreck. It is very entertaining most of the time. And at the end of the day, it has no real impact on our lives. So if people get on it in the comments, I just want to put it out there because I have seen some people say some things when they get in their feelings, especially on my charm videos and more. You're going to see it more in Motherland Fort Salem. I'm just disclaimering it now. You're going to see it. When people write an essay to you, don't let it bother you. So just respect each other's opinions and move on. But if you want to keep the train going, just do. I love reading the comments. I love reading your theories, even though I know there's no way in heck it's ever going to happen, because I mean, they're good. It's just not going to happen. But put it in the comments below. And if you are starting your day, have a good day. If you're ending your day, have a good night. And I will see you guys tomorrow for our Owl House Season 2, Episode 2 review, which will be a live stream. And then also you'll see the Rurouni Kenshin, which may be a spoiler review at this point since it came out today, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see how I do it. All right, guys, you guys have been awesome. Have a very, very good night and a very, very good day. And I'll see you tomorrow.